So I have been a vegetarian since I was 17 years old, and it's so weird. So being a vegetarian is not hard. Like people are like, oh, how do you go without meat? That part's not hard. All the times that I order stuff without meat in it and try to not mention that I'm a vegetarian to the wait staff, and then try to not mention to the other people at the table that I'm a vegetarian, and it just ends up coming up anyway, is crazy. And I know the old joke, I agree with it. How do you know if somebody's vegan? They'll tell you. That's true. There's a big thing about people becoming vegan where they automatically are just like, I'm a vegan, so like, as a vegan, like, I don't think you should drive a car with leather, because like, as a vegan, I wouldn't do that. And you can tell that motherfucker, well, as a not vegan, these fucking seats are comfortable and my kids spill shit, so I like leather. Also, most leather in cars isn't real leather anyway. But the point is, vegans and vegetarians get a really bad rap for a reason. Because fucking 9 out of 10 vegans are douchebags. And I would say 9 out of 10 vegans and vegetarians aren't really vegans or vegetarians. I actually have only probably met 5, maybe 6 real vegetarians in my entire life. I've had people go, I'm a vegetarian too. And I go, oh, cool. I don't want to talk about this shit at all, dude. We have too much in common. Fuck you. I don't want to fucking hear this shit. I already know. You eat a lot of asparagus. It's fine. But I had a lady that I didn't tell her I was a vegetarian. I was tattooing her, and she goes, so I'm a vegetarian. What's a good place to eat in town for a vegetarian? And I was like, oh, you can eat pretty much anywhere in town. And she goes, there's not a lot of places that we can eat. And I was like, no, there's a lot of places you can eat. We have an Indian place. That's a lot of vegetarian food. Like if you're in Indian, she goes, well, I'm not in Indian food. And I'm like, we have several steakhouses that have a bunch of sides. And she goes, oh, I don't do steakhouses because there's steak everywhere. I was like, oh, okay. There's Kudo. They got sushi, and they also have like fried rice meals. You're not vegan, right? Because they put eggs in it. And she goes, no, not vegan, just vegetarian. I was like, okay, cool. You could probably eat there. I kept recommending restaurants, and she kept telling me why they wouldn't work. And then I realized why everybody fucking hates vegetarians. You're telling people they need to change their, like, okay, if I go out to eat with you and you go, oh, I can't eat there. That's not true. That is not true. You can eat there. You just won't get your favorite meal. You can eat there. I eat at steakhouses all the time. I eat at barbecue places all the time. My whole family eats meat. I go to cookouts. I don't even fucking tell people. Like, if somebody invites me to their cookout, and they're like, dude, I'm grilling out, making burgers, hot dogs, got a couple fucking this and that. I made a pork chop. I don't give a fuck what you made. I'll come to your thing. And then when people are like, hey, did you like the burgers? Oh, I didn't have one. And they're like, why not, man? I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then they're kind of offended. Like, oh, well, okay, so I don't eat meat. But I didn't want to bring that up and make it sound weird. So, because every time I do, people go, well, since you don't eat meat, what am I going to cook for you? What I do is I go to where the sides for the fucking burgers are. I get lettuce, tomato, onions, shit like that. I basically make a salad. Back when I ate bread, which that sounds, I'm such a douchebag. But back when I ate bread, I would make like a sandwich that looked like a burger that was just, it'd be fucking onions, tomatoes, lettuce, if there's fucking french fries or vegetables that are grilled around, I'd put all that shit between 2 buns and it'd be good as fuck, dude. I used to go to Chick-fil-A and I'd order a large fry and a motherfucking bun. And I would put all the fries on a bun and I would pour barbecue sauce on that and I would eat, and that shit was good, okay? It was really fucking good. I'm not saying you're getting adequate nutrition that way. I'm just saying if you go somewhere, you can fucking eat there, buddy. You can eat there. So, if you think vegetarians and vegans can be annoying douchebags, you're right. I 100% agree with you. Fuck vegetarians and vegans when they're making it your problem. But, with that being said, keep in mind, there's a great deal of us that are not that way. That you go, hey, where are we going to eat? We're eating with Andrew, so I don't want to, that place, whatever. Fucking everywhere, dude. Name a restaurant, I'll tell you what I'll eat there. It's no problem. Vegetables. Every restaurant has vegetables. Texas Roadhouse, not a great choice now that I don't eat bread, because basically it's just french fries because they put meat in their fucking green beans. But I can eat there. They have a fucking salad, dude. If I'm not getting enough protein from the meal, I, not you, I will find a way to get the protein before or after that meal, and I'll just eat something light and green and fun, and I'll still go out with you and eat. I don't drink. We can go to a bar. I don't want to. I fucking hate drunk people. I'm just saying, you probably have a friend that doesn't drink that you went to a pool hall with, and they got a Sprite, and you got a Crown and Coke, and y'all played pool, and within 10 minutes, you didn't give a fuck that they don't drink. It's the same shit. It's, do I want to do it or not? Do I want to be an inconvenience? Do I want to be special? Do I want everybody to think I'm some special fucking person because I don't do something? No, I don't. Most vegetarians do. I actually think being a vegetarian is kind of fucking crazy. I would go as far as to say it's dumb. It's dumb. It's really dumb. It's hard to do in America the right way. It's slightly inconvenient for people around you if they're trying to take care of you and make sure you're catered to. And I try to make sure everybody knows I don't want that. And I'm not just saying that. I swear, I fucking will eat almost anywhere. The only places, like with my family, I'll go like, I just don't want to eat at McAllister's. McAllister's has the best vegetarian options in this town, probably. They have all kinds of shit that's vegetarian. I just don't fucking like it. They have good cookies, but I'm trying to not eat a cookie because that's bad for you. And I'm trying to eat healthy, but damn it, Rhonda. Okay, so my father-in-law lives with a lady. She's a very nice lady, and she makes cookies for these shows. And I'm not complaining. I appreciate the cookies. I ate 3 of them bitches last night. We had a show, and she shows up, and she's like, I got you some cookies. I'm like, fuck it. Okay, I'll eat one, damn it. And that's why I'm not losing weight as fast as I want to. But the point is, being a vegetarian is fucking wild. So I asked ChatGPT to give me the 10 most common questions. I know most of these off the top of my head because I get them somewhat frequently, but I also don't tell many people that I'm a vegetarian. Like, I've known people for like 3 or 4 years, gone out to eat with them, worked with them, whatever, and then they found out I was a vegetarian. I've had people that I've been tattooing for 10 years that still don't know I'm a vegetarian. But here's where we're at. Where do you get your protein? That was a big issue in the beginning. Where do I get protein? So when I first became a vegetarian, it was hard to get protein. It was weird. So I was eating a lot of things like pizza. And when you take the meat off pizza, there's not much there as far as protein. Like, cheese does have a decent amount of protein, but it's not great. It's not good for you. So I wasn't. The reality is, to answer that question, where do I get my protein? I will tell you in a second, but where was I getting it? For a while, not getting enough. I would eat peanuts. You got to eat a shitload of calories in peanuts to get the protein you want. I eat eggs, which we can talk about that later. I know you're going to say eggs are meat, then we can discuss it, but if period blood is meat, then eggs are meat. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. So, where do I get my protein? Now, there's a company called Huel, and they make a great protein shake that has tons of vitamins and minerals. It has everything, generally speaking, that you need to survive in a shake. I'm not saying a shake is a good alternative to eating grilled chicken, but the protein in it is pretty solid. I get 35 grams of protein. I'll drink one of those in the morning. I'll do my morning shit. Not my morning. I mean, I do shit in the morning too, but I'll do my morning routine. Get all that knocked out. Drink a Huel and eat breakfast. Most days, if I'm working, I'll drink a Huel and I'll eat breakfast, which usually consists of at least 2 or 3 eggs, sometimes oatmeal, sometimes Greek yogurt. These are places you can get protein a lot of people don't think about. I don't like cottage cheese, but a lot of vegetarians will just eat a shitload of cottage cheese with fruit. And I don't like cottage cheese because it looks gross. It's actually probably good. I don't know. But right now, here's where I'm getting protein. Huel. They make meals that are vegan, that or microwavable, that have 30 to 35 grams of protein, that are 400 calories. So you can eat like 3 or 4 of those a day and still be pretty far under your caloric needs and getting close to, not where you need to be, but close to your protein needs. So then I add eggs to that. I'll go, 3 or 4 eggs for breakfast. I'll do Greek yogurt randomly between meals. Like, I'll do a container of Greek yogurt between breakfast and lunch, between lunch and dinner, and after dinner sometimes. On an average day right now, I'm still not getting how much like a bodybuilder would want, but I weigh around 190 pounds, and I probably get around 180 grams of protein. It's not as much as I want, but it's good. Wait, did I say 180? I mean 90 to 100. What the fuck? No. Yeah, not 180. The best day I've ever had is probably 180. No, I get around 80 to 100. I don't know why I said 180. I'm fucking retarded. But yeah, I get enough protein. I'm not getting how much you do if you eat steak and chicken all day and you never eat any veggies. If you just eat steak and chicken all day and that's all that's getting you full, you probably get more protein than I do. But the reality is, I looked at it and I looked at what other people are eating, and red meat, good idea. Chicken, good idea. But it's really not, it's not that different. Like, most people are not eating as much protein as they think, and most people also aren't counting it. So I, every day, will tally up how much I've eaten, and I'll make sure that basically my goal is my protein to calories ratio needs to stay about the same. And for every pound of body weight I have, I need to have half a gram of protein. So I weigh 190 pounds. I would like to get around 110 to 120 grams of protein, and I have like a lot of days I'll get 120, 130, 140. But basically, just to get through the day, if I can get to 90, that's good. I'm fine. I'm not. This isn't nutritional advice. I'm not saying that that's what you need. I'm just saying I've looked at what works for me, and I've been gaining muscle slowly and losing fat slowly, and that's what I'm going for. So where do I get my protein? Greek yogurt, protein shakes, eggs. And then random sources that you kind of forget are high in protein. Like, if you eat the right veggies, you can build up a little bit. But I don't even count protein from veggies as protein. I know it sounds dumb, but I count protein where I know exactly how many grams per serving this item has because it's on the package. And I use the Yucca app a lot. You can scan it on the Yucca app, and it'll tell you everything that's in the fucking food and how good or bad it is for you and all the additives. And you would be blown away how many things are completely full of poison. And what's funny about it is most of the things that are the worst for you are pretty obvious, like cereal and shit like that. They're going to score like a 0 in Yucca. But there's a huge chunk of the thing that's just fucking health food, in quotes, that is awful for you. Like, there's so many things out there that are labeled as health food. Like, there's these protein cookies that they have less protein than a McDonald's burger, and they have more calories than a McDonald's burger. And it's a motherfucking cookie filled with all kinds of artificial sweeteners. The only thing it has going for it is it tastes good. But in that case, I would rather just Rhonda's actual homemade cookie. It tastes better. I know it's a shitload of sugar. Anytime I eat something like a cookie, I don't go, oh, it probably has 1/10 of a gram of protein. No. The protein sources I'm counting are literally just the ones that I know are a very solid source of protein. And again, this is not nutritional advice, and I don't recommend trying to do it the way I do it. I'm just saying that's what I do. So where do I get my protein? That's where I get it. Don't you miss meat? This is funny. This is a legit concern people have about me. When they find out I'm a vegetarian, they go, do you not miss meat? Okay. I'm going to try to say this in the most polite way possible. Yes, I fucking miss meat. But I don't want to eat it. Like, I like the way it tastes. I don't think it's bad for you to eat meat. I just don't want to eat an animal if I don't have to. It makes me feel sad to know I'm eating an animal. So it's really easy for me to not eat an animal. I've actually contemplated going back to eating meat probably 100 times in the last 5 years. And the only thing that's in my way is I can't figure out a way to get over that nagging feeling that eating a cow is exactly the same thing as eating this sweet dog that's on my couch, except I never met the cow. It's the only difference I can find. But But yeah, of course I miss meat. Like, you know how good a fucking brisket is? You know how good a good steak is? I don't remember what steak tastes like. It's the only meat I can't remember what it tastes like. I didn't like hot dogs or bacon very much, but other than that, I ate a shitload of meat, dude. I love chicken. KFC, when I smell it, oh boy, I want some. But if there's never been a thing that you want that you don't eat, you're a bitch. Like, if you can't just fucking not eat something even though you want to, that's a real actual problem. And I don't mean bitch like Sophie, she's a sweet little bitch. I mean, like, legitimately, if there's a thing that you go, I can't not eat it, you need to see a fucking psychiatrist. For real, I'm not joking. You need to go see a psychiatrist. If you can't just make a decision that you're not, like, let's say it's fucking Skittles. You go, I'm not gonna eat Skittles. You can eat M&Ms, you can eat Starburst, but you can't eat Skittles. If you can't fucking not eat Skittles for 1 year, you genuinely have a fucking problem. And you should work on that. Because if you can't control that little tiny part of you that wants to eat a fucking Skittle, you're fucked, dude. You're fucked. Like, you can't, that's, okay. This to me is the same thing as, don't you miss getting strange pussy? You're married. Don't you miss fucking around? Well, first off, I wasn't doing that. I was a really good kid. I actually, the whole body count thing is hilarious with me. But I was a really good kid. I was not very promiscuous. I've only had a few girlfriends. So for me, it's probably less of a challenge than it is for most people. But if somebody gets married, you automatically just go, yeah, you're not fucking other people now. That's what that usually means. Not for everybody. I know people that have different agreements in their marriage and they do whatever they want. But the point is, this is the equivalent. When you ask a vegetarian, hey, don't you miss meat? That's exactly the same to me as if you walked up to a guy that's been married for 5 years and go, don't you miss getting some strange? Correct me if I'm wrong. You can comment and tell me I'm a fucking idiot. I don't care. But that's exactly what it is to me. So keep this in mind. Your experience is a little different than mine. Maybe for you, food is way more important than vagina. For me, if I could live without food, if I didn't have to eat, I would still eat. Don't get me wrong, I like a lot of foods. But I can live without vagina, and it's hard. Like when my wife wants to go a few days where she's busy and she's fucking staying up late and she's too sleepy and shit. Oh, that is 1,000 times harder than not eating steak. Like steak, juicy and delicious. My wife's vagina, juicy and delicious. One of them is getting shoved in my face all the time, and it's next to me in bed and all that. The other one is 3 inches from my fucking plate on somebody else's plate because they're too close to me at a restaurant. One's not very hard. I would have a harder time abstaining from vagina. That being said, some people don't like their wife's vagina, and they still don't get some strange. So that's question number 2. Let's get to question number 3. Why did you become a vegetarian? Okay, this says people are curious if it's health, animals, or just vibes. I don't even know what just vibes means on being a vegetarian. It's not health. If somebody tells you they're a vegetarian for their health, unless they had some really particular thing, or they're like a really good, like raw, organic, whatever the fuck, they're growing their own vegetables and shit, I'm not saying that person's wrong, but in the United States, if you eat at restaurants especially, it's really hard to be healthier by being a vegetarian. Most places you go have a grilled chicken option. They have a salmon option. They have a steak option. Those foods are good for you. Like, I don't think it's bad for you to eat meat. I do think if all you ate was red meat, there's probably a little bit of a downside there, but a well-balanced diet that is mostly meat-based is, generally speaking, from what I know, pretty darn good for you. So the health thing is out. We're not doing that. It's dumb. Not for religious reasons. I'm not very religious. The religion I grew up in, they only eat meat. They think that vegetables make you gay. I'm half joking, but my family, when I was a kid, the only vegetables that I knew to exist were probably potatoes, peas, corn, other basically hollow, pointless vegetables. Potatoes taste good as fuck, though. The point is, I would never do it for dietary reasons to be healthier. I did it because I love animals. So here's my argument on this. And I'm not trying to tell you you're a bad person for eating my dog, but this is how I see it. I'm not saying this is how you have to see it. I don't want you to see it this way, but this is exactly how my brain works. I will put it as clearly as I can. This dog right here, who I love very much, I think she's a wonderful, sweet dog, and I love her. I love her way more than I love the cows in the field down the road. I love her way more than the bison that I drive by when I go hiking. I love her way more than my neighbor's dog because she's my dog. That being said, my neighbor's dog and this dog are the same thing. And I think you would agree with me on that. I think you would say dogs, we don't eat them because they're dogs, right? We love dogs. In America, we love dogs. You go to another country, they don't eat cows because cows are sacred. They love cows. In our country, we mostly eat cows and chickens. To me, this dog and that cow are the same thing. They're living, breathing, sweet, fun animals that you can train to do stuff. When people say cows are dumb, they are, generally speaking, pretty fucking dumb. But there's cows out there that play fetch. There's, like, if you pet a cow, they like it. If you go feed a cow every day, they remember you. They have a fucking personality, and they are, I'm not saying they're the same as a human, but they are fucking intelligent in their own way. They're not great at, like, I've seen some shit where people are like, you ever try to get a cow to go in a fucking trailer and it just walks in sideways? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a fucking cow herding farmer, but the point is, I've been around cattle, I've been around horses, and it's weird. People go by intelligence. They go, oh, horses are really smart, so we don't eat them. But if you've ever shopped at Aldi, at some point you might eat horse meat. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Like, if you're cool with eating this dog, which I'm not this dog, you can't eat this dog. I'm cool with you eating a dog. I don't think there's a difference. And I have a friend that he was in Korea and he ate dog. And he was like, yeah, the dogs that you eat are like different than the dogs that are pets. They're still dogs, but they're like, they run around and they're whatever. And I was like, so they're dogs. Like, he's like, yeah, but they're like a different dog. I was like, okay. But his take on it was the same as mine. He goes, yeah, if I'm going to eat an animal, like, I don't want to meet the animal and name it and pet it and play fetch with it first. But an animal's an animal. I agree down to insect. And then I'm like, if you want to eat ants, it's hard for me to comprehend that little tiny ant has the same feelings and thoughts and stuff as my dog. That being said, they probably do. And if you want to call me a hypocrite, we can do that. I use pesticides. I don't want to, but to keep bugs and insects and rats and whatever out of my house, we do all the pest control shit that anybody else does. And I've probably killed millions of fucking bees and ants and other animals that I don't want to kill. But that's how you keep the fucking weird shit out. That being said, if there's a spider in my house, I get a piece of paper. I pick it up on the piece of paper. I carry it outside. I let it go. I don't intentionally ever step on any kind of ant, bug, animal, whatever, period. Nothing. I try not to. I hit them all the time when I drive down the road. Every fucking night. If I'm on the way back from an open mic, I killed fucking 500 grasshoppers, couple fireflies. The right part of Texas in the fucking summer, sometimes you'll be driving, you'll get a couple of them fucking little, we call them lightning bugs in Oklahoma because we're fucking hillbillies, but you get a couple of them bitches on your fucking windshield, take an edible, oh boy, it's a fucking ride. So the point is, I understand how hypocritical it sounds because I kill bugs, but I don't kill bugs on purpose, except with pesticides to keep them out of my house. Again, sounds crazy. But when you step up from bugs into anything else, it's really hard for me to cope with the idea of killing a mouse or a rat because they're pretty fucking smart. Mice are really smart. You go up a step, rodents, like bigger, I mean, I know rats are rodents, but like bigger, or like, let's say like a possum or a prairie dog. I don't know, fucking moles. We get moles in our neighborhood and they fucking dig shitty holes in the yard and whatnot. It's, to me, killing a mole and killing a bunny are the same thing. But to you, I'm guessing because a bunny's cute, it's not the same thing. But a lot of people love eating rabbits. People eat fucking frog legs. I think frogs are cool. I don't want to kill them. But the point is, we just picked a few animals. This is, again, just how I see it. We picked a few animals. where we said, oh, we're not going to eat that one because that's our friend, but we will eat that one. The intelligence of a dumb dog and a smart cow, I assume, are very close to the same. You can teach an average cow to play fetch. I've met dogs that you can't teach to play fetch. So there's certain types of intelligences that each species of animal probably has that we're not 100% aware of exactly how their brain works. And that's okay. And if you're making the argument that it's hard for you to live your normal life and not eat meat, I agree. And it's not worth it for you probably. I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel like if you eat a cow or a dog, it's the same thing. And this is my dog and I love her. And I would never eat her or any of her friends. And I don't want to eat her big fluffy friends that have udders. Other than that, I have no problem with the idea of eating meat. I don't think it's ethically a problem. I think we're supposed to do it. I just think we've gotten to a point where we don't all have to. So for me, I'm trying not to. I haven't intentionally consumed any type of meat since I was 17. I'm 34. Not great at math. That's a long time. I'm sure I've accidentally got a piece of chicken in something I'm eating. You know, somebody made a vegan or vegetarian dish that they accidentally spilled some bacon or something in that I didn't taste. But there's been countless times I'm at a restaurant eating and I put food in my mouth and I immediately just grab a napkin and spit it out because I taste or feel a piece of meat. And the texture of meat is, unless you're eating certain mushrooms, completely unique. Once you go a certain amount of time without meat, you will know if there's a decent amount in your mouth. But if there's a little bit, you're not going to know. One of my friends was like, hey, you know, vegetarians eat approximately 1 pound of accidental meat per year. And I was like, that sounds right. Like, we try not to. If I had the time and the dedication and all, like if I was there mentally and could figure it out, I would probably only eat food that I prepared, just to take it a step further. That being said, it is what it is. I'm not intentionally eating meat. I haven't ate meat on purpose in a long time, and I haven't ate meat that I know of since I was 17. I did, however, almost eat meat when my wife bought ham Hot Pockets one time that she said were vegetarian because she accidentally grabbed the wrong box, and she felt really bad. But I didn't eat the thing. I took a bite out of it and had a mouthful and went, ugh. And ham, not good. Don't miss ham. But yeah, that's why I don't eat meat, is because I feel like it's the same thing to eat my dog as, or a dog, not that this dog. It would be weird to eat your own dog. You don't even look delicious, dude. You probably taste like fucking dog. She probably tastes like dog. I'm not gonna find out though. I love you. I won't eat you, okay? Probably. We'll see. See if she acts up. What do you even eat? We already kind of covered that. Aren't humans supposed to eat meat? Yeah, I think so. So the way that ChatGPT put this was, aren't humans supposed to eat meat? Usually delivered with a caveman energy. Meat good, fire hot, you weird. I agree with all three of those statements. Meat good, fire hot, I'm weird. Fuck it, I don't care. We probably are. Do you eat fish? No, I do not. Because guess what? The part you eat of the fish is fucking meat. Guess what a fish is? It's a fucking animal. When somebody tells you, I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish, they're a pescatarian. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's a noble thing. I think it's a step of going, hey, fish, fuck them. And that's a good source of protein. Like eating fish, good for your health. Generally speaking, fish good. Isn't it really hard to eat out when you travel? Fuck yeah, it is. But guess what? You bring some shit with you. You eat at breakfast places and diners. You get 4 scrambled eggs and some hash browns. And you have a fucking meal there, buddy. Are you trying to convert everyone just by existing? You're apparently some kind of lettuce missionary. Fuck no, I'm not. If you ask me, hey, first off, people always ask, are your kids vegetarians? No, I'm not going to fucking take a person that's trying to build all their muscles and develop their body and go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut out 90% of the American diet because I think you should feel how I feel. They don't feel like I do. I do, however, make sure my kids know chicken is a chicken. And I also let them know chicken is a great source of protein and I want them to have a lot of protein, and I care way more about my kids than I do those fucking chickens. if it's my kids getting adequate protein and eating food that works for them, that I think kids are supposed to eat. I think kids should be eating fruit, vegetables, meat, grains, all kinds of shit. And I think that if you're choosing moral shit for your kids, it's the same thing as going, I'm a Christian, so you're a Christian. You have to believe what I believe. I think if you teach your kids that they have to believe something because that's what you believe, your kids will either rebel and become the exact opposite, or they'll never think for themselves because you fucking turn them into little robots. And what you think is right might not be right. And that is true for vegetarianism. I might be wrong about this whole thing. I might turn fucking 40 and go, you know what? It's Steak City, bitches. Let's go to fucking Nobu and really ball out and get some, I assume Nobu has good steak. I don't fucking know. But like, fuck no. I'm not going to try to talk you into this shit at all. That would be insane. Like, for a person to walk around and go, you shouldn't eat meat. That person's a fucking moron. You are an individual and you should do what is best for you. And what is best for you might or might not be meat. Most likely what's easiest for you, what you're going to enjoy the most, and what's going to keep you the healthiest is going to involve meat. This is a lot of work. You should not try to do it unless it is a thing that you feel really deep inside of you is pulling at you, don't eat meat. That's when you should quit eating meat. You should be like, it'd be nice to eat less animals. This is coming from a guy that wants less animals to be eaten. You shouldn't do that. The reason I do it is because it's a very strong thing in me that I can't control. It's just like the thing in me that says, hey, your wife's naked, stick it in. I can't turn it off. Sometimes it's louder than other times, but it's there. It's just a natural thing that has been in me since I was a little kid. I didn't want to eat meat the second I found out that meat came from animals. I continued to eat meat because I wasn't making my own food. And then when I was 17, I quit. I was doing a thing with a girl I was dating for 40 days for Lent, and I just haven't stopped since. Okay. Next. How do you get enough iron and vitamins? That's another great question. Huel. Fucking Huel, dude. This is not an ad for Huel, but holy shit, if you want to try vegetarian or vegan diet and you're worried about the nutritional stuff, read up on Huel, go to their website, read all the information, look at reviews, scan it on Yucca, do your own research, but Huel is fucking great. And as a vegetarian, I love it. If I was a vegan, I don't know if I would be able to fucking function without Huel. But how do you get enough iron and vitamins? I take multivitamins. I take them with food. And first off, I take a vegetarian multivitamin. And I don't mean it's vegetarian because it doesn't have meat in it. I mean, it's tailored for vegetarians. It has extra B, it has extra iron, it has extra, what else was it that's in there? What am I missing? There's something else, but things like collagen and a lot of things like that. That's why I think eggs are kind of a good idea. There's a lot of things that you get from animal products that you basically aren't going to get anywhere else. But there's synthetic versions, not a huge fan of that. There's versions of them out there that are extracted from vegetables and from other natural sources that are not animals. And if you can find a vegetarian, and also if you want to try vegetarian or vegan, whatever, again, I'm not trying to talk you into it, but message me, I'll send you everything I take. But I take D and K vitamins, a shit ton of those. It's not because I'm not getting it from meat or milk or whatever. I realized that if you have depression, you could just have a vitamin D deficiency. And I would be willing to bet that at least 25% of suicides in this country could have been prevented by 3 years of constant vitamin D every day. I think that. I'm pretty fucking positive. I have not done any research to support that. I just have talked to a lot of people, and I've read a little bit on vitamin D's effect on your hormones and the way you feel. And I have a first-person experience of severe depression for years and years and years that dates back way before the vegetarian thing, before you go, oh, it's because you ain't getting no meat, bitch. I was like a super suicidal 7-year-old. It did not go away until I did a few things. One of them was worked less so that I got more sleep. One of them, and that helped, but it didn't fix it. One of them was doing some experimental shit involving, substances that grow from the earth that get a little weed in it. Because I was 27 when I started smoking weed, so I didn't realize how much. I don't think weed helps with depression. I think weed helps your body recover, and I think your body being recovered helps with depression, if that makes sense. But vitamin D, I'm telling you right now, if you're remotely depressed, send me a message. If 3 or 4 people send me a message, I'll buy you a fucking thing of vitamin D gummies that are delicious, that have coconut oil in them, so they have a little bit of fat, so your body absorbs them better. You should always take them with food. Even those, I usually try to take them with food. But yeah, vitamin D, I take a shitload of it, like way more than people say you need. Because I don't believe your body actually absorbs how much you put in. I think if you take 5,000 IUs, you're probably not getting 5,000 IUs. So I'll do 5 to 10,000 IUs a day, and then I'll have a day where I do 2,000 IUs, and then I'll have a day where I do 15,000 IUs, and then I'll have a day off, and then I'll have 5 to 5, at least. But usually it's 5 to 15,000 IUs a day, which is a lot. I take a multivitamin that is geared towards my dietary needs. Huel is packed with fucking vitamins. And then I also take a few organic supplements that are supposed to help with things like testosterone production, because I don't know if this is actually a real concern, but like when I go through the tofu phases where I'm eating a lot of soy products and stuff like that, I've been told that those increase estrogen, which you're supposed to have some. It's not a bad thing to have a decent amount of estrogen. I just don't want to have fucking man titties, and I already got a squeaky voice. So I want to make sure my testosterone, I don't care if my estrogen goes up, I just want my testosterone to go up even more. So I take a couple things that are supposed to help with testosterone production, and then I take something that has fucking iron in it, I can't remember what, and sometimes I'll just take straight iron. If I'm feeling tired or in any way depleted and I am sleeping enough, I take extra iron, and I just listen to my body and take the vitamins that I think I need, in addition to the ones that, I have some that are literally every day, no matter what, you have to take this. That's the D and K and the multivitamins. That's a good start. The Huel is another thing. When you add it all together, if you listen to your body and you fucking pump yourself full of vitamins, but not to the point where you're, wrecking your kidney or liver or whatever, seems to work for me. So not a big problem. That's all the questions that ChatGPT had. These are the things that I get asked a lot. There are other questions people ask, and some of them are really dumb, so we'll cover this one. Can you still get a boner? Yes. What the fuck? Do you think steak is why you get hard? Do you think you eat a steak and your dick gets hard? No. You see my wife's vagina and your dick gets hard. That's everybody. Even if you're a lesbian, your dick's going to get hard. You see that little cooter? Dick's getting hard. You see a little bit of a titty? Your dick's getting hard. It's not a problem, dude. I'll go ahead and I should not put this out on the internet, but when I was remodeling my shop, I was getting about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day, which is enough to survive, but not good. I was working my full-time job as a tattoo artist. I was still going to open mics, and I was working every day off, and some of the days that I tattooed, I was working on the shop. And I would get up early in the morning and go work on it, and I would start really fucking early, and I would get done about 4, and then I'd go eat dinner, and I'd be fucking pooped. And then on work days, I would come by and do light stuff after sometimes, and I was fucking exhausted. And I mean, my toes, I'm not joking, my toes hurt so bad that putting shoes on made me almost cry. I don't know why my toes hurt. My fucking whole body, from the top of my head all the way to my fucking toes hurt. My toes hurt really bad. I injured my foot. I wore my knees out to a point that I thought I was going to need knee surgery. I'm not joking. My body is not built for ladders every day. I was out of shape. It was not cool. And about a month into that, I would go to bed, not be able to form a whole sentence, not be able to lift my phone and think that my dick should work. My dick did not work. And I freaked the fuck out, and I thought I was not a man anymore and whatever. It wasn't lack of meat. It was lack of fucking rest and being exhausted and stressed and fucking whatever. But guess what? Now I have Comedy Avenue, and I sacrificed a week of good boners. I figured it out. I got boners back. Don't worry. I sacrificed at least 3 boners 34 years old. I've had 4 bouts with ED. I told one of my clients, I was like, have you ever had, where like you want to have sex, but you're so exhausted you can't get it up? And he's like, yeah, all the time. And I was like, oh, I genuinely believed that if you couldn't get a boner anytime you wanted, no matter what the scenario, you had ED. And now I realized that's just because I don't drink. If you drink, you've not got a boner at least once. I think it's 4, it might be 5 times that I've wanted to get a boner, not got a boner, and I felt really bad. And I think one time I still ate a coochie, gotta take care of it. Got a little chub from that. But like, dude, I probably didn't do a good job. She probably fucking kind of liked it because the tongue on your vagina is probably cool. I don't know. Why am I saying this shit on the internet? I hope my kids never see this. They'll see it. Wait till you're 18 to see it because your mom's a freak. I'm just playing. Your mom's not a freak. Your mom's a nice lady. I'm just playing, kiddos. Nobody would ever lick a vagina. That would be gay. Like, also, a baby came out of there. I'm not kissing anything a baby came out of. What do you think? I'm a fucking weirdo? I'm not. That'd be like if somebody... Dude, one time I heard a guy say that he put his penis in his wife's mouth. That's gross. We don't do that shit around here, okay? So, yep, that's the vegetarian episode. Good luck not thinking I'm a douchebag.